We got this. We can do this. We are going to open all these records. It's gonna be amazing. I'm really excited. Welcome to the Too Many Records live stream. There's a lot of records here. These are all the records that I have received in the 5 months that I've been moving and waiting to get my new place situated. Room tour coming soon. Let's get started. I don't know what so many of these are because I've forgotten. One last thing. If there is a grail, I'm going to look down and see what they are beforehand. If there's a grail, you will know because you'll hear... That's right. We have a grail horn. I opened most of these already ahead of time. But I didn't look at them. I just opened them to save myself some time. This is a Vaporwave record, go figure. Alternate Skies Global Outlook. This is a really fun record that embodies one of my favorite parts of Vaporwave, which is kind of like repurposing television sounds and public access type noises. Really melodic still. So this is an album called Iran, Iraq, IKEA. Awesome band, they're from Sweden. Le Big Bird is probably how you pronounce it. A psychedelic, proggy rock album from some of the guys that were in Caesar's Palace. This in particular is a really interesting album that's been out of print, and they just did a repress with alternate cover art, and it has this like really nice kind of like gold. We haven't even made a dent in this. We have so much to get through. I obviously own this record. Y'all obviously know this record. This is the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper. This was their 50th album. Totally kidding. This is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. This remaster and the Animals remaster, they have brought these albums to life in such a beautiful way. If you don't own Dark Side of the Moon, I don't know what you're doing, but you should pick up that remaster. My ground is going to be a mailer graveyard. This is the first holy grail of the live stream. This is an album by Porter Robinson. This is his famous album Worlds, but the reason this is a grail is because this is the signed copy. It comes on this beautiful translucent vinyl. It's technically kind of EDM, but it's not because I don't like EDM. Japanese inspired electronic emotional journey. This is Balmorea, River's Arms. So Balmorea is just a terrific, I guess they're post-rock, but it's way more kind of classical music inspired. Very, there is some ambient aspect. It's kind of like ambient folk, maybe. This is one of their best albums, and it's incredibly out of print. It has this beautiful gatefold. This is like immaculate condition, and it's numbered on the back. It hasn't been repressed in a very long time. This is a bootleg of Sigur Rós. So this is Peta Ir Island, which is a 3-disc, I believe, live bootleg. It's a live concert from 2008. Each disc is on a different color, I believe, or this one's black. That one is white. Final one is this really nice blue. It's a bootleg, but it actually sounds quite good. A box within a box within a box. So much paper. Overwhelmed by packaging. Help me! This is from a company called Materia Collective, and what they do is that they focus on video game soundtracks, but they usually get their own composers to either rework them or do things inspired by them. Zelda and Chill, which is basically exactly what it sounds like. It's Zelda-inspired kind of lo-fi hip-hop. The Majora's Mask soundtrack done by their own kind of orchestra, and this is just, I gotta show you guys this packaging. If you guys ever played Majora's Mask, for the N64, you know that the music was beautiful. Fold out and look, just take a look at this incredible gatefold. And the back has this spot foil. The disc itself is on this like kind of like moon. It looks like the moon coming down to crush everyone in Majora's Mask. That's right, you know what time it is. This is a holy grail. This is not the first time I've owned this record, but this is, I'm telling myself now, the last time that I will own this record. This is a record that I think everyone should own if you're a hip-hop fan. This is the elusive 3001 A Laced Odyssey by Flatbush Zombies. Every single track is terrific. There should be some interesting inserts in here. So it comes with, if you look closely, this is blotter paper. If you decided that you wanted to go do some illegal substances, you would theoretically use this blotter paper. But for me, it's just gonna sit inside of this jacket. It's on beautiful pink vinyl. Guys, grails are meant to be spun. They're not meant to sit on the shelf looking pretty all the time. This is The Strokes' First Impression of Earth, and here's my first hot take of the stream. This is by far The Strokes' best album. It's their most experimental and their most interesting for me. This is the limited Newbury pressing. This one is from Chris, who actually watches my videos. He sent me something. This is amazing. Oh my God. Chris sent me a custom record weight. Look at how beautiful this is. Guys, this is one of the coolest things that anyone has sent me. You can put a record weight on your turntable to help connection to the platter. It can help with audio. It can help with fixing slight warps as well. I am going to absolutely be using this on the Clear Audio, and I'll be thinking of you every time. So thank you, Chris. This is beautiful. A 07 single, and the only reason I bought it is because on one of the 2 tracks, Aurora, Jose Gonzalez does vocals, and he did a bunch of vocals on their album The Garden, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite records that I was hoping would get a repress at some point. This is Katie Day. She does really cool, glitchy, experimental indie pop, and this album, Solip Sisters, is really pretty, and I grabbed the limited version because she's definitely one that I've enjoyed almost everything she's ever done, and I think this would be a solid addition to the collection. This is the repress. I already have the original, but this is the repress of Late Night Delight, St. Pepsi and Luxury Elite, one of the most cherished albums in the Vaporwave community. This is a repress on clear vinyl. St. Pepsi is amazing. I'm actually going to Electronicon in Brooklyn at the end of the month, and I'll be seeing him do a rare St. Pepsi live set. Sailor Wave 2. Inspired by Sailor Moon, future funk, a little bit of J-pop-ish stuff. Oh! Ryan Campbell with the super chat thus far, hitting me with the 50.00. Thank you, Ryan. Next up, we have Lights Skin and Earth Acoustic. Lights is a synth pop artist. She's extremely talented, though, an amazing songwriter. I got to meet her at Comic-Con. This is her acoustic version of her last album. I really love her stuff, so I wanted to support her. RBENY. He crafts some of the most beautiful, simplistic ambient stuff I've ever heard in a very memorable way. And this is a recent album he just put out entitled something. It's like Echoes Verse. He's super, super good. Let's do this. Currency and London Drugs Umbrella Symphony. So this is an EP that Currency did. Currency is a rapper I really enjoy, but ultimately he puts out so much material that a lot of it is kind of dreck and a lot of it's very average. London Drugs manages to add some color to this album and makes it kind of feel fresher and feel not like your typical Currency album where he kind of raps about the same things in the same way. Another Vaporwave, guys. There's going to be a lot of Vaporwave. I got to be honest with you. This is one of my favorite Vaporwave acts, Death's Dynamic Shroud.wmv. This comes with a really nice Obi strip. This album's called Classroom Sex Tape. Catchy stuff. These guys are masters of the genre. This is a Grail. Mach Homie and the God Fahim Dollar Menu. Mach Homie is a rapper that I feel like not everyone knows at this point in time, but everyone should know. He is incredible. It's like underground rap, but it's super melodic and has incredible beats. This is Dollar Menu, one of his EPs, and this is actually a dope record. As you guys know, I love all the dope stuff. Super hard to find. This is the green variant. If you guys haven't heard this record, this is one of my favorites of the entire year. This is Richard Houghton's Music for Drifters. Everything Richard does, whether it's on A Cosmic Gift or if it's through his own personal music like this one, he's a brilliant guitarist who comes up with these amazing melodies that are sometimes Brazilian inspired, sometimes down-tempo electronic inspired, and he does such great work. This album, I think, is probably his best work to date, which is saying a lot because everything he has done thus far has been amazing. So they had a clear, a black, and a blue, and Vinyl Moon had a blue variant that I slept on, and I was sad, but then they restocked it, and I got an email, and I was able to grab it in time. So now I have, I believe, all 3 variants. These mailers always weird me out. Why do people send them in this? Where do you even buy this? John Frusciante, is that how you pronounce it? Frusciante? Frusciante? Frusciante. I do not know how to pronounce his name, but he was the guitarist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He also has a storied career of stuff that is very experimental, ranging from kind of lo-fi, psychedelic Syd Barrett type stuff, all the way to like really strange electronic stuff. This is a really sparse recording he did. I think this was his first his first solo album, Neandro Lades and Usually Just a T-Shirt. I think that Frusciante is one of the best guitarists of all time. His work on the Brown Bunny soundtrack was one of the more formative musical moments I've had in the past few years when I heard that. This is a really interesting album. It's very strange. It's very experimental, but his talent shines through the weirdness. A lot of Frusciante's stuff goes for like crazy money solo stuff. We got a Mondo mailer, folks. Silent Hill 2. If you like atmospheric, spooky soundtracks, I mean, this game was, I really enjoyed and was equally terrified of it as a kid. Night Tempo's Fantasy Repress. If you're in the mood for kind of sugary J-pop, which sometimes I am. Do we have any Stereolab fans in the house? Because Stereolab just went and announced a reissue campaign of every single one of their albums. And I was lucky enough to grab the Obi Strip versions of both of these. So Mars, what is this one called? It's such a long name. Mars Audiac Quintet. Transient random noise bursts with announcement. Their names are crazy. Stereolab is unbelievable, kind of French. If you haven't listened to Stereolab, I feel like they're the kind of band that anyone could appreciate. My favorite album of theirs is Emperor Tomato Ketchup, which is probably most people's favorite. All of these represses, if I can grab these cool Obi copies, which are numbered on top, which is awesome. The singer, she is just the smoothest voice. Very loungy at times. Arms and Sleepers, which is a band that went from a purely ambient band all the way to kind of doing trip-hop, hip-hop type stuff now, many, many years down the road. This is just a really good electronic record. Swim Team. This is one of the records that got me into them, so if you want new music that's like really good, danceable, kind of like interesting electronic music, this is definitely one to look for, beat-driven stuff. And then I've been waiting to get it on this gorgeous translucent blue record, and there are only 100 copies of this, and I've been holding off for a good price version of it. Stalking Discogs pays off, because I reloaded one day and it was the first thing on there for like $30, which is crazy, because it usually goes for like 80, 90. Speaking of trip-hop, Heligoland by Massive Attack, one of UK's proudest exports. Massive Attack is known for their albums Blue Lines and Mezzanine as their biggest ones. They're trip-hop stalwarts, and this album in particular is an underrated one in my opinion. I would put it up there, at least in moments. I'll put it up there with the best of the best that they've ever done. And what's cool, I don't know if you can see, is that this has this like textured glitter on the jacket, which is a really nice touch. I love when records do that kind of aesthetic thing. Part of the reason I love vinyl, as you guys know, is a lot of them are like art pieces. It's just a whole cohesive piece, and it brings me closer to the music. I think I know what this is. Anytime you get a big box like this, it's not a pizza. The Pearl Jam Live at Easy Street, which is a red vinyl exclusive for the 10 Club. Now, this was slightly disappointing for me as a big Pearl Jam fan, because this concert, if you can tell here, was madness. I mean, I wish I could have been there. But they only picked 7 songs. It's more of a sampler, but I'll take what I can get. Any live Pearl Jam on vinyl is a win. This flimsy package from Amazon Japan did not inspire confidence. I thought I got an email saying that this canceled, but apparently it did not. Krang Bin! Meandering psychedelic guitarist, drummer combo, unbelievably catchy and laid back. And this is a compilation of some of their early EPs. I think the only way to get this was at Fuji Rock Festival in Japan. Amazon Japan had some copies for sale. I've never even heard these EPs. I'm just going off the merit of their 2 records. Beat-based project by Brock Berrigan called Point Pleasant. This was pressed on Chill Hop Records, which if you guys are familiar, Chill Hop does a lot of really good like compilations of what they call chill hop, which is basically lo-fi hip-hop and beat tapes. I believe this is more from Chill Hop. Playtime by a band I'm never gonna pronounce right. Another by the same artist. This right here is a psychedelic band called Raptor. This guy reached out to me from this band and he said, Matt, I know you like psych rock. We just put out this record and ultimately I think you'd like it. So I gave a listen to the music and it's super good. Like honestly, if you like King Gizzard and you like psychedelic porn crumpets, so if you guys like psych stuff, check out Raptor, Escapism. And it's on, yeah, really nice Raptor green vinyl. Obviously a classic, Sum 41, all killer, no filler. And I've been waiting to find this pressing for a while. Whoa, it looks way cooler in person than I thought. A formative album from my growing up. Pop punk brilliance. Everyone's addressing how many records are still here. Oh my goodness gracious. Some of you who are RPG fans or Super Nintendo fans are going to be extremely jealous of this. It is a bootleg, but it's extremely high quality. This is the soundtrack to Secret of Mana, which was a Squaresoft RPG back in the 90s. For Super Nintendo. Iconic soundtrack. I'm a huge JRPG fan, as you guys know. It's appealing to me on a nostalgic level because it reminds me of a specific time in my life. It comes on these beautiful pink and green discs. This is the King Gizzard Fishing for Fishies. Wasn't my favorite King Gizzard album. I ordered it on faith because I love pretty much everything else. It's a good record, but it's not like amazing. One of my favorite albums of the year, Tycho's Weather. Tycho went in a different direction with this, and he added Saint Sinner as a vocalist, and she's amazing, and I love this record. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. And this is the Dinked version, which is limited numbered. Ooh, a very minimal cover. I didn't even think there was a cover, but if you look closely, there's a swirl. This is Above and Beyond's Flow State. So Above and Beyond is it's kind of a progressive trance band, but they do really, really pretty EDM, and I'm a huge fan of them. This is something that was a little different that they did. It's kind of music that would accompany maybe yoga or something kind of like reflective and relaxing. I heard a couple tracks and I was blown away. It's exactly the kind of music I like when it comes to like ambient stuff. This is a throwback for anyone that ever listened to Gus Gus. Gus Gus versus T-World. 2000s kind of like trip-hoppy type stuff. So we're gonna have some Vinyl Me Please in this pile without a doubt. Oh, this came out really beautifully. This is the Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix release they did. I have the most limited version of this, which is on white vinyl. It's pretty hard to come by, but this is one of my favorite albums. I'm wondering how it sounds. I don't know if it was remastered. I think it might be. Or Vaporwave Vapor Greatest Hits. Jeff Cardinal, one of my favorite artists in the scene, and then another one of my favorite artists, R23X. Who does kind of video game inspired vaporwave. Oh man, I just got Pink and Blue from Tycho's new album stuck in my head. Oh, that's weird that I just said before I opened this, I got Pink and Blue stuck in my head from Tycho. I forgot that I double dipped on the Tycho record, and this next one I grabbed happened to be, again, Tycho Weather. This is, I think, the blue variant from his web store. You guys having fun? This is fun, right? I've been waiting to do this for literally months, so thank you guys for humoring me and coming and joining me. Someone just asked about this in the Too Many Records Facebook group. They're like, do you own this? And I was like, I will soon. Audio Fidelity pressing of Blade Runner soundtrack by Vangelis. It's supposed to be one of the best sounding pressings just that exists. I got the red version. So this is a band called The Main. You Are Okay, which I think is their latest album. And I got a signed copy from, there's this random store, I think it's called like Music Record Shop, maybe, or something. I get emails from them, and sometimes they have artists come through and sign like 10 copies. Really solid indie pop with like an emo tilt towards it, so really good stuff if you're into that. I think this could be the rarest, most powerful record in my collection. This might be the best record sonically. This is probably the best pressing, the best art, the best concept. I probably should stop collecting records completely, and I should probably just listen to this for the rest of my life. It is a greatest hits album, but how do you even pick the hits based on how great all of this is? I present to you Kids Bop, greatest hits. Today's biggest hits, sung by kids, for kids. Finally, my record journey has ended. I've done it all, and now I can stop. I can stop collecting records. This is it.